Hi there and welcome to the video. So I'm going to be upscaling this image here using Gigapixel 8, and this is a really nice clean image to start with, and it's a reasonable size already, so I'm hopefully going to be able to push this quite a bit and maintain some really nice clarity in the details. So I'm going to go up to the upscale amount here, and I'm going to do a 4 times upscale on this one, which is going to take it to over 6,000 pixels on its longest edge, which is a nice large file. And I'm just going to scan across it. So I haven't made any other adjustments at the moment, but I just want to see what kind of texture we've got going on in the nails. And I'm on full screen preview, which means when I hold the left mouse button, it's going to temporarily show me the before image. And then when I let go, it's going to show me the after, i.e. the live preview with any processing applied. You can, of course, go down and change the mode to something that suits you a bit more, maybe like a split screen before or after, which I do use from time to time. I just like I just like the effect of the big screen, basically just having the image on one screen a lot of the time. But let's keep it on this view for a while, see how we go. Right, so I'm just scanning around, having a look here between the before and after. So I'm not even chosen a model yet on this one. I just want a quick look and just see if there's anything that I need to be aware of in terms of compression artifacts on the original. So on the left hand side, along any contrast edges, that'll help me make the decision of whether to try to reduce that a bit more later. It's looking pretty clean. So I'm going to go back to the full screen preview here, and I'm going to go to our select a model section. So I almost always do an A/B compare, and I would highly recommend you to do that as well, just so you can, if anything, so you can get used to how some different models affect the different images, or the images differently. So on something that's a nice clean starting point as this, I'd do standard and high fidelity, and I'm going to click compare on that. Now standard is a good all-round model. High fidelity is supposed to be specialized for images kind of like this, where they're already they're an okay resolution to start with. You're not dealing with a super low res image, but quite often I find that even in those instances, the standard model can sometimes give you a more pleasing result, but a lot of the time it's subjective. So I'm just having a look between these two, just seeing what difference there are, paying special attention to the sort of metallic texture on the nails. Let me just go to 100%. So this like stippling kind of metallic granular texture, because sometimes with those very fine details, it tends to look a bit more natural in one model than another. And I'm thinking they're very close. They're very, very close. It's probably not worth even spending that much time on this bit. But I'm thinking on the high fidelity model, when the bits of the metallic nail polish get really small, you can see the grains and the individual shimmering elements on the high fidelity a lot more, I think, where it starts to get a little bit fuzzy on the standard. So I'm going to go with a high fidelity model, and because I'm upscaling this so large, I'm actually going to just drop down on magnification just a bit, just so we can see a little bit more of the image. And what I want to do now is doing a quick evaluation of sharpening, denoise, fixed compression, etc. So sharpening with this, the image is nice and crisp to start with, because it's a sort of a modern AI gen image, so it's pretty much guaranteed to be a reasonable quality to start with. So just a little bit of sharpening on this will sort of be sufficient. Again, you don't want to go too far, you'll make the textures start to look crunchy, and it'll actually lead to a worse result overall. So I'll just wait for this preview to update. Okay, because if I take the sharpening too high, watch the texture of the silver nail varnish there. If I crank the sharpness too high, it's just updating there. You can see now I've got this super artificial crunchy texture across everything, so really want to avoid that. So a little goes a long way when it comes to that. Denoise, I don't want to denoise anything, and the reason why is because this batch of images that I'm putting tutorials for at the moment, most of them are AI based images generated in Sora, GPT-4o, and they're really clean as an output anyway, and any kind of grain or noise I would pretty much want to keep anyway, any that survives the upscaling process. There's no real fixed compression needed, because There's no notable compression artifacts on the before image, so a nice clean one here, nice simple one. Face recovery obviously not required. Gamma correction, not relevant for this image. Export image settings, again, I always go on about this, but I would strongly recommend, if you haven't got it set up already, to set up a prefix or a suffix, so that when you save your files down, you've got a visual difference in the file name clearly indicating which ones have been upscaled, and etc, etc. But this is completely up to you at this point, how you want to save your files. But I'm just going to put up on the screen now a full high-res upscaled version of the nail image.